Hey, Goldies. I have been trying to get the lighting correct for this video, like, for so long. And I'm gonna have to keep working on it. But I was trying to get the lighting right and get my thumbnail right. And somehow I clicked go live, so we finna go live. Okay. All right. Whatever. Okay. How y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I've been live and everything. But I'm gonna try to get some videos out here tonight while I have an opportunity to. I wish that I knew how to do my lighting right. But you know what?
1 o'clock.
What y'all need is this information. Y'all don't need to see me even though I'm fine. Okay. Y'all don't need to see me though. What y'all really need is this information. So that's what I'm going to focus on instead. Okay. And we'll go from there. All right. So welcome back to the Goldie Jones channel. All right. Like I said, I know it's been a while since I've been in here, but I've been doing a lot of work and getting a lot of stuff done. So I wanted to come in and begin to share some of the information that I have been sharing in my private Facebook group. Okay. And yeah, so I wasn't ready to go live, but here I am. I thought I was gonna have a better picture than that. But let's go. If you are in here, please say something so that I can see that you are here and know that you are here. What did I? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do vetting. Okay, I have like 3 different videos I'm gonna make. So if you feel like hanging out with me for a little while, you can come back to the next live after this one. I'm gonna be talking about the things that a high value man wants. Okay, in the next video. And this next video is going to be on trustworthiness. Okay. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get going. All right. So when we all know that we don't have a whole lot of time to sit here and play with these men, okay? And the reality is that when we make a mistake in choosing one of them, we end up having to carry the full brunt of that mistake, okay? We don't get any passes or any concessions. Nobody gives us the benefit of the doubt, okay? So it's in your best interest to try to choose as wisely as possible, okay? It's in your best interest to go into your interactions with men with a plan, okay? Don't leave it to chance. Don't try to wait and see what happens. Definitely don't try to take the nice girl route and just believe that all of these men that are coming in contact with you have your best interest at heart, okay? Because they really don't. I'm not going to say all of them, but some of them honestly and truly don't have your best interest at heart. And you need to be mindful of that. You need to be aware of that. Yesterday in the group, we talked about a post that I found in the group, and I shared it to our group. Okay. And the post was about this man that had been with a woman for 2 years, and she was a single mother when he met her. She was divorced or something like that when he met her, and she had 2 children. And he proceeded to date this woman for 2 years. Okay, hey Goldies, I see it's another number up in here. Give me a comment and say hey, okay? But yeah, so he proceeded to date this woman that he was fully aware had 2 children and a failed marriage. Okay, he dated her for 2 years. He wrote into the group saying that he liked her and everything, but he had no plans on marrying her. And he knew that she was beginning to think about marriage, and she knew that he knew that she was soon going to be asking him for marriage, or asking for a ring, hinting around for that. But he already knew, he had already made up his mind that he was not going to marry her. He made it plain and clear, I'm not going to marry this lady. But I think the issue is that he never told her that he was going to marry her. All right. So what I'm saying is that guys don't give you the benefit of the doubt. They just expect for you to do your due diligence and choose as wisely as possible. All right. And in that particular situation, a little bit more communication, a little bit more, I think, conversation on her end, asking those tough questions that we really don't want to ask, could have really helped her to identify what type of mindset she was dealing with this man. Okay, because I know that she didn't get with him just to waste her time. So if she had spoken to him a little bit more in depth and had some of those deeper, more difficult conversations, I'm sure she would have uncovered that he didn't have the same values as she had, as she came into their relationship with the failed marriage and the two children. All right. So I went into all of that just to say that you are not going to be given the benefit of the doubt by these men. Okay, you're not going to be given a concession. You're not going to have any mercy, any leniency. Okay. So it's important that we focus on vetting our perspective, guys that we interact with. And I'm making this video so that I can give you a few pointers. Okay. If you are interested in more in depth content on subjects like this, feel free to send me a message on Instagram at Goldie Jones, and I'll direct you to my private Facebook group. Okay. And we are just a community of, gorgeous Goldies, okay, who are wanting to create the best life, an amazing future for ourselves. So if you are like minded, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram and we'll go from there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, so we are going to talk about vetting men. These are prospective candidates for you. Okay, prospective candidates for your time, prospective candidates for your attention, prospective candidates for an experience of your feminine essence, all of that. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about creating a system. Okay, so perhaps the most important part of perhaps the most important part of creating of dating is creating the system so that you can get to the point quickly. Okay, we know that we are emotional creatures, and after 3 or 4 weeks of consistent chatting, we could be devastated if we find that this person is not really who we think he is, or if this person won't fit into the future the way we had envisioned at the beginning of that communication. Okay. Okay. So so it's very important that we use our time wisely in deciding who we are going to bring into our more intimate inner circle. Okay. Um so the first thing that you want to consider is this man's financial status and his employment. All right. A lot of people say that money isn't everything, and whatever. And believe what you may, but the reality is that none of us are wanting to get with another person to suffer or struggle or have a hard time. That's just the reality. We want to choose men that make things a little bit easier for us. We want to choose men that give us an opportunity to rest in our femininity. We want to choose men that are secure and confident. Okay. And a lot of times that comes with guys who are financially sound, financially secure. Okay. You can take a gamble if you want and talk to somebody that isn't financially secure, but you will just end up wasting your time participating in an unfulfilled relationship, because financial status and employment is very important. Okay, so This is perhaps the most important facet. Okay, we should be away from guys, from wanting guys to just have a job, and closer to guys that are working in their divine purpose. All right, this will let you know that this man, your prospective target, has taken time to really take a look within, do some assessing, some self assessment within, and determine what it is that he would like to spend his life doing, how he would like to earn his money. Okay. Not just punching a clock for somebody else, not just taking the best that he can get, but really going out here and creating financial streams for himself, like active streams of income. That is, if you see your prospective target, if your prospective target has that ambition, has that focus, that tenacity when it comes to earning money, that definitely would be a plus in his column. Okay. Um, you want to focus on oh, another thing, when you are beginning to think about his financial status, you also want to think about the why. Like, why are you dating? Not all of us are in the market for a husband right now. Some of us are working or completing degrees, and we just want a little conversation. Some of us are recently out of marriages or something like that, and we might just want a friend. Some of us have been single for a while, and we might be looking for a lifelong companion. Whatever you are looking for determines what type of range you should be looking in terms of financial stability and employment. Okay. Of course, we ain't talking about dating nobody who ain't got no job. All right. So let's not get into the extremes here. All right. Let's be realistic and logical about this. All right. You want to really take consideration into why you're dating and what you are wanting to benefit in this situation. Okay. Um, so you also want to be sure to not look short term when you are vetting your prospective candidate, especially if this is someone that you are interested, if especially if you are dating for a purpose in terms of marriage. Okay. You don't want to just look at your tomorrow or your next week or your 2 years from now. You really want to see what kind of man, what kind of prospective candidate you have in front of you. Engage him 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line. Like, you really want to see if you tie yourself to this man, if you will, if you were sink or swim, or if you had to get out there and get a job and work hard your own self. Okay. So yeah, let's think about that. All right, age. All right, we know that we have been told you want to vet these prospective candidates based on their age. We know that we have been told that older men are more secure, older men are more stable, and that is usually true. However, some young men have done the work. They have done the work, and they are making close to six figures, or early six figures, and they are really doing the work. Your why in dating would determine what age range you should be going to. If you're just looking for some fun or something, maybe you can hang out with some of the younger guys and, you know, go on double dates with their girls and build your social circle. All right, the social circle is so important. So you might be wanting to gain new friends or gain new contacts, gain new resources. Okay, so that might bring you to someone that's a few years older than you, or in your age range. Okay, you might be interested in a sugar daddy. Some of us like that, and if that's the case, then of course you know that you would be dating, your prospective target would be an older man. Okay. I have a video that is titled "Not All Old Men or Older Men Are Not All Created Equal" or something like that. Take a look at that video, okay? Because just because he is an older man does not mean that he is stable. And just because he is an older man does not mean that he is worth your time, okay? Take a look at that video. I'm gonna tag it after I finish this. All right. Social class. It's another thing. I'm not rating these things in any level of importance, okay? But social class is very, very important. Depending on your why in dating, you want to determine the social class of this prospective candidate, okay? Is this a blue collar worker? Is this a white collar worker? Is this an entrepreneur? Is he a hustler? Is he a rapper? An athlete? You really want to take time and really assess his social class and see if that aligns with where you see yourself going in your future. Um, some of us are entrepreneurs ourselves, and we know that life is very active and fast paced and very young money, very, fresh new money ideas and all of that type of stuff. So you might want to align with somebody like that if you have your own business going or own things going, and you are wanting to get some attention or some attraction or some network around what you're doing. That might be beneficial to you at that moment. Like I said, you might be looking to be more settled. If you're looking to be more settled, then you might want somebody that's in a more elevated or higher social class that has already made those gains and have a network of people or come from a lineage that is financially secure. So your why in dating, I want you guys to always think about your why before you engage with a man. I want you to think about your why in dating before you engage with him. All right. This will let you know where you need to go and how you need to navigate that. Um, ethnicity and culture. If you are choosing a date out of your ethnicity or a different culture, that is something that should really be considered if you're looking for something long term. If you are wanting to potentially marry into a culture that's different from your own, you really need to give some thought to that. Okay. Can you hang with this new world? All right. And a lot of times when we are marrying into a culture that is not European per se, they have a lot of traditional customs and norms, and there is a serious role for the wife to play. So, if you are interested in marrying into another culture, it's time. It's time you really have to take the time to really look into what your responsibilities would be as a wife. Okay, and if you really do some soul searching about it, you may find that it's not necessarily what you thought it would be, or you might find um, that you don't want to commit to that. Okay, you don't want to commit to that long term. So really take some time to think about the ethnicity and the culture of your prospective target, because that could be the determining factor on a successful marriage or a stressful marriage. Okay, all right, just a waste of time. And that's the same thing with the religion, spiritual and moral compass facet component. You want to check to see if they have any type of religious, moral, or spiritual grounding. You don't have to agree with it, but you want to make sure that that person has that moral compass. Okay. Um, I know that not everybody believes in religion. I know that not everybody believes in spirituality, but to be honest, we have there is benefit in being anchored in something that is bigger than ourselves. Okay. So if your prospective candidate is not familiar with any type of practice, that's something that you might want to consider. That shows that your partner creates that your prospective partner, your prospective spouse, whomever, creates their own boundaries for themselves. And that's an indicator that they might do the same for you. What a normal, healthy boundary is for all of us could be, not as normal for your prospective spouse. So you really want to think about that. You really want to think about um, if you can hang. Okay, you really want to think about if you can hang with that. Masculinity. Another important facet in this process, that is also dependent on your why. Okay, if you are looking for fun, some shopping, some experiences, some looking good, some selfies and stuff, you might not mind a guy that is not assertive or as masculine as we have all become accustomed with. You might not be worried or really thinking about this man's level of masculinity or degree of masculinity if you are not anticipating a serious relationship with this person. All right. But if you are anticipating a serious relationship, this is something that you really should think about and something that you really should assess. Um, can you be respectful? We know that men hate being emasculated, and we know that when women emasculate men, it's often the final nail in the coffin. However, um, we know that some guys like a more direct or a firmer woman, you know? So you really need to think about what it is that you're trying to do and where it is that you're trying to go. All right. In terms of this masculinity, because not all beta males, quote unquote, are bad. Like those might be the kinder guys, the more romantic guys, the more intimate guys. Okay, so depending on your why, really give that some thought. The children, traditional, and family values. This is a facet many overlook. I'm just gonna go ahead and read this straight from the post. This is a facet many overlook. If you don't have children, be mindful of a prospect who does. If you don't genuinely like children, consider men without. Depending on your why, you may have to develop relationships with other women in the family, friends, or even manage special projects, etc. This is where you will also determine the intensity in which he will offer protection and provision for his family. This should be considered seriously. So, this is a topic that should be considered seriously. How does he see his role as a man? Does he view himself as a provider? Does he view himself as the authoritarian and not in a dictator, type of way? But does he see himself as responsible, as in charge, as to be depended on? Are those things valuable to him? Did he see his father, or stepfather loving on and, affirming uh, his woman or his mother? Did he see children being well taken care of? Did he see children being viewed as a blessing? I know we say that a lot, that children are a blessing. I know we say that a lot, but we don't always treat children as a blessing. Did this man and his family treat children as a blessing? If not, can you deal with your babies not being treated as a blessing? Okay, I know I can't. No, my babies are some blessings. Okay, like we're gonna have to like agree to that. I don't know, y'all. It's bothering me. All right. So you really want to think about his perspective there on children, traditional family values. All right. Um, this is another thing when we talk about provision. Was he bred to be a husband? A lot of times we talk about women not being raised to be wives, but was this man raised to be a husband? This is key. This is so important. Was this man raised to be a father? Was he abandoned by his father? Did he make a commitment to do better or different than his father? Did he make a commitment to you before y'all had children? Like these are all things. Did he make a commitment to the woman that he was with if he have children, if he has children? Did he honor that commitment? These are all key factors in determining this person's mindset. And once you evaluate that mindset, then you will be able to determine if it will be worth your time or not. Okay, education. Now, this is solely dependent on your why you're dating. If you're just dating to like hang out and have fun and stuff, um, you don't necessarily, you might look at education differently. Sorry. You might look at education differently. Like it might not matter to you if this person went to a 4-year degree or obtain a terminal degree if you're just looking to hang out and have fun. But if you're looking for a husband or for a leader of the household, or for a father for these children, then for your children that you come into the marriage with, or children that you have in the future with this person, you really want to think about um, their perspective on all of that. You really want to think about their education level and determine if they will be able to net an income, a take home pay, okay, that will be able to take care of these five children, all right, and assist you in doing so. Politics, politics, okay. You want to vet your prospective candidate for politics. Um, I'm going to read this. Be mindful of your prospects' politics if you are sensitive to politics. If you aren't sensitive, understand that most high earning men are on the more conservative side. It's just science. Don't worry about it. Don't argue about it. If your prospect is a politician, move with certainty, as you may receive more than you gamble for. And I used Melania Trump as an example there. Okay. Melania had her little man that she may or may not like that much. Okay. Um, and he got the crazy idea to run for president and turned around and won. And now all of a sudden she is the first lady and responsible for all of the first lady stuff. Okay. Um, so you really want to take time to vet your prospective candidate regarding politics, the whole umbrella of it. Okay. Let me keep going. Location, you know that vetting men for location, where they live. You can tell a lot about a man by what city he lives in. Okay. For example, if you have a man, a perspective that lives in Chicago, is it Chicago proper or the suburbs, the outskirts of Chicago? Makes a huge difference. All right, makes a huge difference. So that's something to think about. Appearance. Your prospects, excuse me, y'all. His appearance should be well groomed. He should coordinate. Okay, he should wear nice cologne. He should wear nice leather Oxfords or nice leather shoes. Okay, his appearance. He should be well groomed. That mustache, beard, all of that needs to be looking good. Because this is an example of how he views himself. All right. If he views himself in high esteem, he's more likely to view you in high esteem. When a man doesn't view you in high esteem, some of it could be because you have decreased your value or appear to be low value, but some of it could actually be because he doesn't see the value in himself. He doesn't have the high esteem in himself. So that's something to think about. All right. Um, Emotional intelligence. Does your prospect possess emotional intelligence? Is he savvy? Can he mingle in a group? Can he pick up on those nonverbal cues that let people know that things aren't going so great? Can he kind of move and ebb and flow in different um, in different, I was going to say communities, but different environments and situations and social settings? Okay, this is very important. This is not on my list, but it's very important that your guy is not socially awkward. It's really difficult to be a high value man and socially awkward at the same time. Okay, so yeah, you really want to take a second and really look at him emotionally. Is he intelligent enough to move through, this life without creating enemies or without becoming a simp or a beta male? Okay, you really want to think about those things. And then we have integrity, respect for others, and fairness. Does this person exhibit integrity? Lack of integrity is actually one of my deal breakers. I cannot deal with a man that has no integrity. I won't do it. I will not do it. Because it ultimately will come back to bite you in the butt. And when it does bite you in the butt, you're gonna have a bunch of guys, worthless guys in the community saying, "Oh, she hit the wall. It's over for her. She'll never get another man." And what you really have done is just like wasted your time on someone. Okay. So integrity, respect for others, and fairness. Is he fair? Um, is he loyal? Does he respect people? Does he respect help, servers, those people who the waitress and all of those people? Is he polite? Is he kind? Does he use his manners? All of this stuff matters. And the integrity is huge because if there is a lack of integrity, like with the story that I told at the beginning of this video, if there's a lack in integrity, then there's also going to be a lack in how he relates to you in this video. All right, so nobody never told me before I became a mother um, that you had to really like pay attention to all of these things because they come back to bite you in the butt. And when if something happens and you have to re-enter the dating world, these guys are not going to take it easy on you. In the group, one of the girls asked, "Why should we lie?" One of the videos that I'm going to come up with next is about being trustworthy. But the girl asked, "Why should we lie?" And the reason why we should, or the reason why we have to, is because men don't appreciate the truth in the way that we appreciate the truth. And they will hold it against you. They will tell you that they want honesty. They'll tell you that they want you to be truthful. And the reason why they want you to do that is because they want you to do their work for them and vet yourself for them so that they can judge you and either continue talking to you with this judgment in spite of the judgment, or let that be the reason why they broke up with you or things just didn't work out. Okay. They'll use that as an excuse. Okay. They use all of that stuff against you. So don't ever get caught up in that whole honesty thing. You don't want to be too honest. But when you are vetting your target, you want to make sure your prospective man, you want to make sure that he does have integrity and that he does move in a way that exhibits that integrity. Um, because if your man is not, if he does not have that integrity, or he's dishonest, or he's disloyal, he will not have a quality social circle around him. All right. And that will diffuse a little bit of his own value, like his own reach, if he doesn't have a strong network that believes in him behind him. Okay. So you want to vet for integrity, respect for others, and fairness. All right. And also, if the relationship does happen to go south, you want to know that the man that you are with is going to be fair to you. Okay. Once children come in the mix, um, things kind of change, and you want to make sure that the man that you have um, is going to play fair. Okay. So make sure that you vet for that as well. And then ambition. Okay, I'll read it. It's really important to determine if this man has the personality that will allow him to sustain the life you have been introduced to. Is he a go-getter? Does he wait for things to happen? Is just good enough okay for him, or does he want more out of life? This is important to consider regardless of your why. Okay. So, regardless of why you're dating, you need to make sure that your prospective target is ambitious. Okay. Just when you reach a certain level, the work doesn't stop. Like everybody is still working and climbing and like really trying to get to the next level. And that is no different for your high value, high earning man. Once he gets to one level and is successful there, he immediately is focused on obtaining the next level. You want to make sure that your man it has ambition in his eyes like that, okay? Because that will keep you in a high value and a top level position when he has that ambition and he's able to maintain that success that you have become accustomed to. All right. You want to make sure that this man didn't just win the lottery, for example, or get an inheritance, and that's how he got his money. You want to make sure that your high value man actually worked mentally, or physically, like strategize to get to where he is. It's okay to date someone that will receive an inheritance or has received an inheritance, but you want to make sure that this is the person um, that can sustain that level that you meet them on. All right. And not just sustain that level, but you want to make sure that they can go beyond. Okay. Because we get expensive. All right, goldies. We can get expensive. I know I can run up a bill. So the bill that I can run up in 2020 is going to be very different than the bill that I can run up in 2025. And I'm going to need my man to know this. Okay. So you want to make sure that your target, your prospective target, has that ambition that will keep him as a heavy hitter, as a high value man, as a top level player. Okay. The last thing, generosity. You want to vet your perspective target for generosity. Okay, hold on. Now, it's a one thing to have a high value man. It's a completely other thing to have a high value man that is generous. And you don't have to tell this high value man to be generous or how to be generous. Like, it's just in him. It's just in him. Okay? And you don't have to like turn no flips or do nothing special to get this generosity to just be bestowed upon you. Okay? Like you don't have to do anything in particular. It's just his nature. That is an ideal prospective candidate. So if you meet a person and you're going through the this list of vetting cues and prompts, and it should not be limited to the things that I'm discussing in this video. But if you get down through the list and you done check them all off, okay, and he fine, and okay, he in your age range and y'all align. If he doesn't tip the waiter, I know he ain't generous. Okay, okay, and I'm talking about a healthy tip. Okay, so yes, girl. Okay, so you get down to the bottom of your list and he wearing nice suits and he got a good social circle around him, but he don't tip the waiter. Okay? Don't let that slide. All right? That is a huge indicator, a red flag. That I would say is a red flag that you might have the wrong target. Because it makes no sense. Like, you don't gain anything from him having loads of money or loads of access, loads of resources, loads of contacts, and not sharing them with you. What would be the point in really, merging with this person, choosing him after vetting him? What would be the point of getting with this person if he's not sharing his resources with you? And I'm not talking about just as a wife. I'm talking about as a friend. I'm talking about every stage of the courtship or every stage of your interaction. He should be generous with you. Okay. So keep that in mind. You can have a man that checks everything off, but if he's stingy, leave him, drop him. unless unless you benefiting in a different way. If he giving it up like with his resources, and you have a business and you can get some investors, some of his friends from his network can invest in your business, then that might be a reason to keep him. But if he is not really willing to be there for you during those phases of the relationship, and show you that what's his is yours, without without the manipulation and game that guys try to play. Like we talk about in the group, we talk about like appropriate dates. If he try to hit you with the meet and greet, okay, you want to date a man that wants to give you a great experience. All right. If he's not interested in giving you a great experience, that shows that he may not be so generous. That also shows that he might be trying to manipulate you to see if you quote unquote deserve a great experience. All right. And either he's a high value man that enjoys great experiences or he's not. And if he is, then he wouldn't mind treating you. But if he's not, then he's going to make you prove yourself to experience this. Okay? We talked about this in the group. One of the guys, well, this was a different group I was in, said, can they give you a low value date or a low effort date basically? And the girls were saying like if a guy called them and told them to be ready, at 7:30 and meet them at the bar. And a lot of the ladies were saying, "Oh, I would be elated if he asked me to meet him at the bar for drinks." And I'm like, girl, please. Okay. That's an example of a low value, low effort, low generosity, low everything. If he sees himself as a high value man, then he should be inviting me to an experience that he views acceptable for himself. And not try to have me jumping through hoops to determine if I'm worthy of this or not. Okay. So, like I said, if you get through every little prompt here and you get down to the end and your man is not generous or this prospective target is not generous, you might want to pump your brakes. Okay. So I want to know, did I miss anything? Go ahead and leave me some comments down below and share your thoughts and your concerns or your opinions. Okay. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that stuff, and we can talk about it. Okay, Goldies. Hit me up on Instagram if you're interested in learning more about my group. We can talk about that. But yeah, all right. I'm trying to go and do a little bit more. So I'll see you guys soon. If y'all want to roll with me for a couple of these videos, then let's do it. All right. See y'all soon. Remember, okay. Remember, your love is golden. Okay, Goldie. Your love is golden. And you don't have to prove a dang on thing. Okay. I had to tell him today. I know this man did not approach me for me to convince him to date me. Okay. All right, if he wasn't sure enough within himself to know that he was looking at a winner, he had the wrong one. All right, so anyway, remember your love is golden. You don't got to prove nothing, Goldie. All right, see y'all soon. Bye.